I don't think that it's bad to have something that says honor your father and mother so that you will live a long life. That is the first commandment that has a promise attached to it. I don't think that it's bad to teach children that adultery is something that you should not do. And also listed in the 10 Commandments, thou shalt not steal. And maybe the left and some of these politicians are having a meltdown over having that right there listed in our classrooms, thou shalt not steal, is because government hates competition.
It's stop the steal, not thou shalt not steal, Lauren. Okay, get it right. So that is Representative Boebert responding to Louisiana's controversial new law that would put the 10 Commandments up in public schools there. It is obviously being litigated. The ACLU is suing, but looks probably gonna go forward for now. What's interesting about Boebert weighing in on this is that her son recently was arrested for stealing. So maybe that's maybe that's why she wants the 10 Commandments up. So sorry to out you, Tyler, but Tyler Boebert was arrested by the Rifle, Colorado Police Department. That is the name of the town. After a recent string of vehicle trespass and property thefts in Rifle, Boebert is facing the following charges: 4 felony counts of criminal possession ID documents, multiple victims, 1 felony count of conspiracy to commit a felony, and over 15 additional misdemeanor and petty offenses. So I believe that's credit card theft. Obviously, I think that's important to remember, but also we remember another thing that Lauren Boebert did: thou shalt not covet thy neighbor's crotch in public.
Tonight, surveillance video revealing the truth about the night Colorado Congresswoman Lauren Boebert was kicked out of a theater. Her version of events going up in smoke. After denials, she was vaping inside a Denver theater during a musical performance of Beetlejuice. This video clears the air. Boebert is seen on video blowing smoke before the start of the show. The Colorado Republican representative is also seen dancing and clapping along to the music, her arm raised above her head, even using flash photography. A woman sitting behind her appears to lean over and say something to Boebert. At one point, her date is apparently unable to keep his hands to himself.
Why do we have to watch that video again? I don't want to. Anyway, there's another commandment. There's another commandment. This is actually a real one, which is thou shalt not have other gods before me. And here's Lauren Boebert praising her God, Donald Trump.
Every so often, Mr. Garcia, maybe you could just lift up that picture of our President Trump sleeping. As you say, I think he's praying. But if he is sleeping, he certainly looks pretty while he sleeps.
Because he's an angel. Look, that's not exactly false idolatry, but let's be real, guys. The MAGA cult is exactly that. They absolutely put Donald Trump, if not on equal footing with Jesus or God, like maybe above, maybe, I don't know.
Well, I mean,
how many memes do we need to see of Jesus holding Trump's shoulders?
Yeah. Remember the whole "and God made Trump" video?
Oh, right, God made Trump. And then what I was remembering is a couple of evangelical preachers came out and said that they were really upset with even their own followers because people would constantly come up to them and tell them, stop telling us what Jesus did, tell us what Trump is doing. And they're like, you keep telling us about how Jesus helped the poor and the needy. We don't want to hear that crap, okay? And so make sure that you're being pro-Trump. So that's, very literally putting Trump above Jesus.
Yeah.
So, and that's not me saying it, that's pastors that are saying it, preachers that are saying it. So, okay, look, thou shalt also not annoy your neighbors by vaping into their faces. So, did you put up the 10 Commandments in your house, Lauren Boebert? Because if you didn't, then I guess by your logic, you're guilty. That's why your son stole all those things. Now, on the other hand, if you did put up the 10 Commandments in your house, I guess they didn't work. So which one is it? Okay, do we really think just putting up a piece of paper on a wall is gonna make everybody in the room moral? If I thought that, I would put up the piece of paper, okay?
I don't know, it says no cursing over there and I don't curse because of it, so.
Well.
That helps me. But if there were the 10 Commandments, I would stop doing adultery while I was doing this show because it happens every single time, it's ridiculous. But wait, before I kick it to Jackson, Trump himself had a very late night rant, again, perfectly stone cold sober as the man tends to be, all caps though, over on Truth Social. Agreeing with Lauren Boebert saying, I love the 10 Commandments in public schools. private schools, and many other places for that matter. Read it. How can we as a nation go wrong? This may be, in fact, the first major step in the revival of religion, which is desperately needed in our country. Bring back TTC, MAGA 2024, the 10 Commandments. You know how everybody refers to the 10 Commandments as TTC, guys?
Literally no one does.
Guys?
Literally no one.
The whole two commandments. I mean, Trump couldn't answer, he couldn't even conceptually answer questions about the Bible. No. What your favorite verse is, what you like, he knows nothing about it, like whatsoever. But one of the things that really cracks me up about conservatives in America is how they think they can like patent basic mammalian survival instincts like family good, family important, hard work important. Like those are basic human traits that extend beyond Homo sapiens. Like it's not just us, so like no one could ever possibly learn that stealing is bad or taking someone's life is inappropriate. Again, things that generally go against the social contract, us being social creatures, we are not made to be by ourselves. So these are basics. So again, unless it's from the Bible, why can't we learn these very, very fundamental elementary things? But
I just think it's amazing. When I first heard this story, I was like, people, if Trump is reelected, in the classroom, there will be his photo, because there often is in public schools, and then the 10 Commandments next to it. And he has broken himself nearly every single 10 Commandments, except he honors the Sabbath. My guy, he really does. No, but specifically the third one, guys. Thou shalt not kill. Thou shalt not commit adultery. Thou shalt not steal. Thou shalt not bear false witness against thy neighbor. Let's go through them. Now, kill hasn't happened that we know of, all right? Wanted to on Fifth Avenue and no one would hold him accountable for it. Not directly kill.
Right, as president.
As president, you kill. Right. Commit adultery, oopsies, multiple times on that. Steal, tried to. All he needed was 11,000 votes. He also obviously stole from the taxpayers in New York City, was fined $400 million for overinflating his assets and doing that. That's stealing. Bearing false witness against thy neighbor or false witness against a woman who you sexually assaulted in a dressing room. You bore false witness against her and you got hit with another, what was it, a $90 million fine on that? There's a lot of those 10 Commandments, the TTCs, that he does not believe in.
Yeah,
he held the Bible upside down.
Right.
But technically it wasn't upside down. It was just held in a super awkward way. Okay. But it was hilarious the way he's like, what is this book? I don't, right.
A Bible. I love that he couldn't even lie in that moment. Is that your Bible? It's a Bible. Don't just say it's yours.
Like the
I got it
time
from
in
the church
rally
pew.
when he was like, "That's my African American." That's like telling on yourself. Okay, in fact, we're going to show you a hilarious clip of Trump in a second, struggling with pretending to be religious. But the one I wanted to focus on was "Thou shalt not steal." Paid $25 million fine for Trump University because it was just a giant con where he was stealing people's money and not giving them any education at all. He's paid $2 million fine for Trump charity because he was stealing people's money instead of using it for charity.
Yep.
I mean, and that's just let alone the $400 million for the civil fraud case, et cetera, et cetera. So let alone the adultery. Come on.
His pregnant
wife. Okay.
He couldn't wait.
Yeah, and I want to back
till
up.
She had it.
Yeah, I want to back up what Jackson's saying.
What do you mean when she was pregnant? You could still have sex when you're pregnant.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot of things he could have done. There's a lot of things that he could have done.
No, guys, to be fair, he slept with Stormy Daniels a little bit after the baby was born.
Oh, right, the newborn. But it was Karen
nullifies
McDougal.
the transgression.
And there was Karen McDougal, and then there was the other reporter who came to their residence while Melania was pregnant, interviewed both of them. Melania went upstairs, and Donald Trump sexually assaulted the reporter while his pregnant wife was upstairs. But you see how important the 10 Commandments are. But
This
although
happened
maybe
after
you might
the
make an
Sabbath.
ironic case, hey, Donald Trump didn't have the 10 Commandments on his wall when he was growing up, and look at what happened.
Absolutely.
Okay, but he's a very religious guy. So let's just show that to you so you can see it with your own eyes.
The Bible certainly is one of If not, I mean, it is the book. And I go to church a lot, always on Christmas, always on Easter, always when there's a major occasion, and during the Sundays. I'm a Sunday church person. I like to do the right thing where I don't have to actually ask for forgiveness. When we go in church and when I drink my little wine, which is about the only wine I drink, and have my little cracker, I guess that's a form of asking for forgiveness, and I do that as often as possible because I feel cleansed. We were having fun when I said, I drink the wine, I eat the cracker. The Bible is special. The Bible, the more you see it, the more you read it, the more incredible it is.
An Old Testament guy or a New Testament guy?
Probably equal.
He's so stupid.
Such gems.
And he might be president again. It's
Why can't he just be a bad stand-up comic? Come on, just be a hack comedian. You'd fill stadiums-ish. You'd fill something.
It is the book.
Yeah, during the Sunday.
Probably equal. I mean, I go in the big ones, Christmas and Easter, and the Sundays.
I don't sin, so I don't have to ask
the New Testament, Old Testament. You know, his first thought when he heard New Testament and Old Testament was like, there are two? Like, what?
Right. There's more than one of them.
There's more than one. The more you see the Bible, the more you want to read it. You don't, but you want to. You think about it.
Yeah.
It's so good.
And what just last thing is backing up what Jackson said. You really got to be reminded to not steal and kill. And you think that if people aren't reminded of that, they obviously will do it. Boy, I'm worried about you guys. If that's what you really think, like, well, if we don't put it on the wall for kids, obviously they're gonna think just like me. But man, I'd love to have sex with my neighbor's wife and steal his money and then kill him afterwards. So we gotta remind the kids, don't do that. Otherwise, obviously, everyone will think like no, I'm worried about you guys.
No.
Okay.
And to be real, like, in his overnight bleat, Trump basically says this is the beginning of like a revival. Effectively, this is the beginning of like Christian nationalism. As if Louisiana had so much religious diversity that you needed to put that up. But no, there are Jews in Louisiana and there are Muslims in Louisiana, right? And there are people of no faith in Louisiana, and they should be allowed to be in a classroom without having the effing 10 commandments before them. And so it's just, again, this like Christian fragility. You're still the majority in the country. It's okay, you can practice your own religion. What about the right to privacy and freedom of religion? Nope. Let's put this up on the wall. It's bonkers.
Are they really? This Louisiana is going to put this up. Super last thing. This is one of the commandments they're going to put up. Thou shalt not covet thy neighbor's house. Okay, fine. Thou shalt not covet thy neighbor's wife. Okay, good. Nor his manservant, nor his maidservant, nor his cattle, nor anything that is thy neighbor's.
Dude, I break that
people
all the time.
People being freaks forever, man. We've been freaks forever. Every generation thinks they discovered.
We've been freaks forever.
No, that's so.
We've
so
coveted
true.
the maidservants for a long time.
They had to put it in the Bible because everybody's like, "Oh, did you check out his maidservant?
You check out his
that
cattle
cow over there?
The maidservant. Have you looked at the cattle?
That ass on that cow?
That cattle looking good.
But what's interesting is apparently they're like, now either the men or the ladies, not the manservants either. Okay, and they had to write that one down.
I feel like I violate this all the time. When I go to someone's house, I'm always like, ooh, that's cute over there. I like that. Ooh, I like that countertop. I feel like I'm definitely violating this commandment.
You know why?
Why?
Because there's no 10 commandments written on the walls of your house.
I knew it. Damn it.
Yeah.
Gotta put them up.
Thanks for watching The Young Turks. Really appreciate it. Another way to show support is through YouTube memberships. You'll get to interact with us more. There's live chat emojis, badges. You've got emojis of me, Anna, John, JR. So those are super fun. But you also get playback of our exclusive member-only shows and specials right after they air. So all of that, all you gotta do is click that join button right underneath the video. Thank you.